What's up, everybody? It's your friendly neighborhood nerd, Brock, coming at you. Kind of with a late night video. That's kind of why I'm in the casual fit. Hopefully that does not bother you, but wanted to talk to you guys just about the top 5 movies that are on Netflix right now. Kind of a quick little fun video. A lot of us have been doing a lot more streaming during the quarantine, and I thought I'd go ahead and just give you my 5 best Netflix movies that I've been able to check out and that are just on there. But before we get started, definitely let me know what you guys have been watching, what you guys have liked. I'd love to hear also as well. And definitely give this page a like, comment, subscribe, whatever you can do. So let's go ahead and get into it. At number 5, it was one of the best movies that's on there right now. I have Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse. This came out in December 2018, and it tells a story of Miles Morales, it's kind of very cool. A black Hispanic Spider-Man who gets bit by a radioactive spider, but then his journey of also, not to explain the plot too much, but there's a big experiment that allows all these different versions of Spider-Man to come into his universe now as he's just now becoming learning how to become Spider-Man. What I love about this movie, this is probably one of my top 3 favorite Spider-Man movies. The animation is just so stellar. The story has so much heart. The soundtrack is sick. A lot of you guys know the song Sunflower of Post Malone, and then also the What's Up Danger song. It's like a comic book literally come to life. Like the animation, this film won Best Animated Feature at the Oscars in 2019, and there's a reason for that. It's just stellar. But what I love about this, of the story of Miles Morales and all these different Spider-Man he gets to interact with, is that it's his journey, and the theme of the anyone can wear the mask is so cool, and it's talking about Spider-Man, and it really just, a hero can be anybody. But it's entertaining, it's a fun flick for the family as well. If you haven't seen it, I definitely recommend it, again, if you don't like comic movies, but if you do, this is a love letter to the character of Spider-Man within itself. It's one of my favorites. So, number 5, Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse. At number 4, I have Raiders of the Lost Ark. This came out in 1981, directed by Steven Spielberg, starring Harrison Ford as the title character, one of the most iconic characters in all of cinema. It's just great. I have a lot of fun rewatching this here and there, but it's on Netflix specifically, so a lot of the younger generation, I feel like, hasn't seen it. But we've got our plot. Archaeologist Mr. Indiana Jones, he is on the search for the Ark of the Covenant, and it's set in 1940s America, and it's just a swashbuckling adventure movie. And it truly is a classic of Hollywood. They just don't really make movies by this anymore. And what I love about this movie is it's just a fun adventure film, old school action adventure film of Indiana Jones. This is like prime Harrison Ford. He just played Han Solo, and he played, this is the first movie after Empire Strikes Back, and he's perfect for the role. It's prime Harrison Ford. But a lot of action. Like the opening scene's iconic with the boulder running, if you guys are familiar with that. And just so many different things, like him stitching the statues out. It's all awesome. It's old school, great Hollywood. It's a good time. You'll probably watch the 2 sequels. I just had a fun time watching it, and I highly recommend Raiders of the Lost Ark, and that's at my number 4 for me. At number 3, I have Uncut Gems, starring Adam Sandler, directed by the Safdie brothers. This came out in December of 2019 to select cinemas, and then a worldwide release in January. This tells a story of a jewelry salesman / pawn dealer, whatever you want to name, Howard Ratner. This is quite a different shift from Adam Sandler. A lot of people know him from comedic, and this is quite the serious role of a guy who's a gambler, just keeps getting in over his head again and again, and it is just an on your edge seat, and it's so good. Tension constantly, and your heart will be pounding just because there's so many different things going on. It's such a loud film because this guy's getting involved with shady characters, and I honestly think Adam Sandler should have gotten nominated for an Oscar for this film. He gives an Oscar-worthy performance. Yes, the Adam Sandler, who, honestly, I'm not a big fan of some of his movies that came out the past few years on Netflix, but he gives a performance here for a lifetime as this guy who you want to see win, but he's just not a good guy at the end of the day, and his journey of going through that and the discovery of his gambling addiction and just different things that is going on. He's not a good husband, and you just go down for a wild ride of a movie, and the ending's crazy in itself too. So if you love Adam Sandler, you really want to see a different movie, I would strap in for Uncut Gems, and that's what I have at number 3. Coming in at number 2, I had The Five Bloods, directed by Spike Lee. Man, this movie felt like it was just laying last month. This just came out this past month on Netflix. It's a Netflix exclusive. It's directed by Spike Lee, and it's a story of a group of Vietnam soldiers of the Vietnam War in 1960. They're all African-American black soldiers that they buried gold that they found in the war, along with their their war buddy was also killed, and they buried his body, and they go back after all of these years. And Spike Lee is one of the most famous directors. If you don't know who he is, you need to watch some of his films. But what I love about this is there's a lot of action in here. It's an underrated movie, but you get to see a really realistic portrayal of these Vietnam soldiers and just how their life has changed and how they're still treated as African Americans. It's a fantastic film. You get to see what these soldiers' life has been like since the war. A lot of them have PTSD. Specifically, Leroy Lindo gives one of the best performances. You'll know he's the bald-headed guy. You'll see him in those performances. Just this guy who's on edge and has a lot of weight and has a lot of things he's been holding on, as you'll see throughout the film. But man, it's a longer movie. It runs in clocks in about 160 minutes, but if you're looking for a film that just really will take you into this world, like some of the issues and stuff that it tackles, you'll see why I said it could be made today. But Spike Lee delivers an excellent performance. This is definitely like a Best Picture nominated movie for sure. So at number 2, I got Da 5 Bloods. But it coming in at number 1, it's Extraction. Man, this movie was dope. Extraction. It stars Chris Hemsworth. It's produced by Joe and Anthony Russo. Hopefully you guys know that if you're Avengers fans. They produced this movie. And it was directed by Sam Hargrave, who was the stunt coordinator in all the Russo Bros. Marvel films. It's about a missionary soldier who's hired to get back the kidnapped son of a major arms dealer in jail. And the plot is simple, and that's what I like about it, because from there, it's a wild ride. This is a straight up just go with it, like on your edge action movie the whole time. I love it. It really reminded me a lot of like the 80s movies back in the day with Arnold Schwarzenegger, of just this guy, this soldier, Chris Hemsworth, who he can do it all, man. Action, comedy, he's great in this movie. But some of the stunts in this movie and the action work and the camera work, it's fantastic. It definitely gives me John Level type of wicks. Like, I know you hear a lot of action movies compared, but like, it could probably be right up there with John Wick. It's that good. It's bloody, it's violent. So maybe if you're not into that, don't check it out. But it's just it's just a fun movie to watch. And Chris Hemsworth, he did a lot of his stunts for this movie, but like the stunts are brutal, the action's brutal. It has weight. It's not just like, shooting off screen or something like that, but it's 2 hours just from start to finish. It's going. I've rewatched this. It's probably the best action movie of the film so far for me personally that I've seen, and a lot of the reasons why I just listed. And the Russo Bros, their style of just directing with the camera, a lot of the wide shots, you can see the action. It's all over this, but I'm telling you, it's pretty dope. If you haven't checked it out, I definitely would. It's probably still in the top 10 of Netflix, but I hope there's a sequel to this, and you'll see why after watching the ending. But man, Extraction, I think it's the best movie on Netflix right now. So, what do you guys think about some of the movies I listed? Have you seen them? Have you not? What are maybe some of your top 5? Maybe what are some other movies that maybe I haven't seen that you guys have seen? Definitely let me know. I'm always open-minded to it as well, with just a lot of downtime that we still ultimately have. But, thankfully for Netflix, they've put out some good quality movies for us and different things like that. So, leave a like, comment, subscribe. If you like more content, definitely check out some more of the videos I have kind of down here. It'll pop up as well. Consider giving this channel a subscribe if you haven't already. But a lot of good movie content and different things like that. I'm continuing my MCU review as well. I know a lot of you guys are excited about that with Iron Man 3, but just want to put out a fun short video about Netflix as well. So, without further ado, I am Brock. I'm your friendly neighborhood nerd. We'll see ya. Bye.